What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sweep the League, where we sweep every league that is going on and around the universe. Well, even soccer, but now we'll get into that later down the season. But this is Sweep the League. I am your host, Trey Collis, coming to you from Kerrville, Texas, where I hope everyone enjoyed a great Thanksgiving. I forgot to wish all that last week. And I hope everyone is getting their Christmas shopping done because you only have 2 weeks left. Just letting everyone know. And you don't want to order online because apparently they're back ordered. But welcome to Sweep the League. I have Coach Gio here with us. Will said
What's up?
Will said he was going to be here. I don't know if he's another birthday party or what.
Hey, he could be another party.
But man, we got some sports topics. Man, we had the Final Four in college football going on. We got that situated, which I'm still going to argue we still needed 12 teams this year. NBA is done with their quarter of the season already in the books. Golden State looking like the team to be, maybe. Spurs on a win streak. We'll get into that too a little bit. And of course, we'll have all your NFL action for you. Preview for week number 14 we're on? Yeah, week 14. Hey, no dinner party tonight, Will?
No, man. It's Tuesday. Those are Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's why y'all moved it for my dinner parties.
No, we moved it for Coach Gio because apparently he's a busy man on Wednesday nights.
I am. I have the emails to prove it.
I don't want your emails. I got Chris Cuomo in trouble. So, yeah, like I was saying, week 14 previews. Coach carousel is going on in the college. We'll get into that too. I want Gio's take on a couple of these coaches, which I don't understand in the college world either. See what his thing is. And then, of course, his beloved Bulldogs let the whole nation down.
Why do we have to talk about that?
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
Because we talk about the Cowboys, their demises all the time.
Well, that's warranted.
But before we do any of that, let me pay some of these bills real quick. Thank you to United Collision Care Center. If you have any problems with your car, any scratches, scratches from the car not working, go take it to Lewis and those guys at United Collision Care Center. Go visit their website at www.unitedcollisiontexas.com or just give them a phone call at 210-595-6413. They'll get you in and out in a faster than you can say. The Rams are going to go to the Super Bowl, baby. Go to the United Collision Care Center. Also, Project Spurs. Hey, Spurs are heating up. They beat the Golden State Warriors, the best team in basketball, the other night. Gave the Suns all they can handle last night. Beat Portland on the 3. So they went 2-1. So if you have any stats you want to go look at Project Spurs Twitter at Project Spurs because they'll have you from. I'm telling you, they have everything you need to know. Everything you know from Primo, from the Austin Spurs to him traveling back and forth on this two-way contract, which I never understood anyway. But check out those guys at Project Spurs on Twitter as they'll have everything you need to know from NBA. NBA, also some NFL action for you as well. One more. I can't find it. But anyway, DraftKings. Hey, guys, DraftKings is the best way to go. I know it's too late to get an NBA fantasy. NFL fantasy is hitting the playoff push. But you know what? It's not too late because DraftKings has great one-day games going on. Best thing about DraftKings is you can easily, if you're mad about your lineup, if some player gets hurt, don't you have to worry about it. You can do a whole new lineup the next day or the next week, whatever the case may be. NBA's wrapping up, kicking off. It's in the hot start. NFL is fixing to end. NHL, they even have soccer and NASCAR for you. So go to DraftKings today and get signed up. It's fast, it's simple. Make sure you go over there today and do that. Well, guys, it's been all three of us has been together.
Where do I
Trey's
been on a hiatus, so
I've been on a hiatus. I've been here every Tuesday, Wednesday night, man. I'm moving my schedule around for y'all. Just letting y'all know.
Hey, Tuesday's my best schedule day, and I was going to show up last week, but Trey didn't want me in.
I didn't because I wanted you well prepared for watching your Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, unfortunately, the pride of the Bulldog State came up short against Alabama for the 8th straight time, and it's very frustrating. We haven't beaten them since my senior year of high school. That's all you need to know. Just do the math.
Well, let's talk about that for a little bit. I won't spend too much time because we got a whole month to talk about it. Everyone in the world thought Alabama, this was a year, right? We saw the game day. Everyone's like, this is a year, except for Lee Corso. Lee Corso likes to pick Alabama. I wanted chaos. And we got it at the first game, the Big 12 championship, where we saw a great Baylor Oklahoma State game. That Baylor defensive back, I forgot his name. I do apologize. But making that, I thought an Oklahoma State player was in. But him hustling and making that tech, he's not going to have to buy another beer in Waco forever in his whole life, getting that Big 12 championship over in Baylor. And then the 3:00 games come. Houston takes an early lead over Cincinnati. I'm like, here we go. Chaos. That's what I'm looking for. And then Georgia just laid a dump of an egg. I don't know what happened to their defense. Bryce Young basically got invited to New York with that performance that he had for the Georgia Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs, I still contend that it is a major plan of theirs. I think they wanted Alabama in so they can face them in the national championship and hit them where it hurts. I thought that's my plan. Theo, are you disappointing your dogs, or are you worried, or are you still have them as a favorite to win the national title?
Disappointed isn't the word. As I was saying earlier, Alabama has owned Georgia the past 8 meetings, whether it's been in the SEC championship, regular season, and a few years ago, we all remember in the national championship, Tua, 3rd and 15 overtime, throws essentially a Hail Mary touchdown. They get it to win the championship. So Alabama has owned Georgia. I thought this was the year, but when it comes down to it, Stetson Bennett, I'm not a huge fan of his. He's a walk-on quarterback. I would prefer the more traditional quarterback in these playoffs. If I'm Kirby Smart, I honestly may go to JT Daniels in that game against Michigan, because as good as Stetson Bennett is, he's just not going to win you the game. And we saw that. But Georgia's defense didn't play particularly well. Guys wide open. And Williams. Oh, that guy is fast. The other guy, what's his name? I think it's Menchie. He tore his ACL. He's out for the playoffs. So they essentially got Williams and a few other guys, but just disappointed in the performance for Georgia. Flat. They did come out 10-0 in the first quarter, but Alabama, you have to bring your A game, and Georgia didn't. But you have a chance in the playoffs to redeem yourself. You're playing a really good Michigan team. I respect the hell out of them. They can run the football. Georgia can stuff the run. So this is going to be an interesting game. I still think Georgia can make the championship, but to win it all, you're probably going to have to beat Alabama, and I'm not thinking that far just yet. I'm just worried about Michigan.
I would be worried about Michigan. Has a stellar defense. They have a great run game, as we saw against Ohio State. They can run the ball. They can dictate the time of possession as well. But if I'm Georgia, I'm not worried. I mean, you played a one bad game, and I think they're going to right or wrong, and I think you're going to see them again in Alabama in the championship game. I think Alabama would just heard all the noise, and Nick Saban took that as bulletin board material, and I just believe that it was that everyone would sort of know it's like, oh, no, Alabama doesn't deserve to be in this game, blah, blah, blah. And Georgia just like, whatever. But Georgia's offense scored enough points all season long. Like that game, they would have won all the other games by 24 points, but Alabama just couldn't stop Bryce Young in Alabama. Will, my question to you is, even though Cincinnati went undefeated, do you think Notre Dame or Ohio State should have been over Cincinnati with their schedule?
No.
And who do you have as winning the national championship?
I think Cincinnati deserved it. They've been there. They have a solid team. They beat a bunch of ranked teams throughout the year. They were tested, battle tested.
One ranked team.
They're one of those,
They beat one ranked team. I'm not counting Houston as a ranked team.
No, they beat Notre Dame, didn't they?
Yeah.
One ranked team. One ranked team.
One. Really?
Well, Houston's number is the second team.
Not anymore. That's what I said. I said I don't think Houston should have been ranked.
But that's not your decision, Trey.
It should be. Like, this college football community's on crack this year, but whatever. Go ahead.
I think Cincinnati should be there. How many years have we been looking for this? UCF undefeated. They just not giving them any love. I think they're giving it to them. They're going to give a smaller team a chance, and they look good all year. They struggled just like any other big team, but you got to give it to them. They did what they had to do. They knew if they didn't win big, have a good performance, they were going to somehow get knocked out, and that they came out and did what they had to do.
Well,
You know,
here's
their
my
quarterback's going to be a top 5 draft pick this coming draft.
Here's my question. If Oklahoma State's running back gets in the final 30 seconds of the game, Oklahoma State jump Cincinnati, you take a Big 12 championship over AAC? I think the community
I think
does
that
it.
happens.
I would. Yeah.
Absolutely, just because
think
of
Oklahoma
the teams
State.
that OK State or Oklahoma State played. They're going to do that strength of schedule thing, and that's what's going to hurt Cincinnati because of that one loss.
And that's why Cincinnati's going to the Big 12 with Houston and all that too. So,
You know, Mike Gundy, I think if he stays there, Oklahoma, Texas is going to be leaving, right? He
mhm.
could potentially win a few Big 12 championships, and it looks like Baylor's going to be there for a while.
Mhm.
TCU is going to have a new coach, so I mean, it's going to be interesting there in Oklahoma State the next few years and see how Gundy can get going. But you know, Gundy's been in this; he's been here for a long time. Like, wouldn't you want to maybe try something else?
He's been there since Des Bryant days. And Des Bryant's
at
already out
me.
of the NFL.
I'm a man. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I think
I'm
he's like-
40.
I think he's 51 now, I think.
He has like a mullet, right, or whatever he has.
Yeah,
going there.
that hockey mullet thing he had. As far
Apparently
as who I think,
he. Okay, well,
go ahead.
no. I was going to say
As far
something
as what I
about.
think is going to win, it's going to be Alabama over Michigan
Ooh.
in a close one. In a
All
close
right.
one.
I actually have Georgia over Alabama.
Trey, stop with this.
I am.
This
You can
whole
black cloud them
notion
all
here.
day long, Trey. It's fine.
I think Georgia's
Stop
gonna do
buttering
it.
me up. I think Georgia can, if they can figure out their quarterback situation, I think their defense will be okay.
Yeah.
But you got to. They didn't do anything right that game, so
Well,
I don't.
well-
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Well, one last thing. I was talking to Gio before that. I think Cincinnati is actually going to give Alabama a game this year. I think Cincinnati can score points. I think Alabama's defense is not all that great. That quarterback's going to throw from a yard. Way to beat Alabama is through passing, right? So I just believe that Cincinnati's going to give them a game, but Alabama's going to win at the end. And I think the Georgia-Michigan game, I think Michigan's had their ride, and I just believe that Michigan, it's over for them. I think Georgia is going to – they're going to have a month of that bad taste of that performance in their mouth, and they're going to prove it on January 31st at 6:30 or 7:30 p.m. I don't know. The times are weird because Cincinnati and Alabama play at 2:30. That's ridiculous. People are working.
Look,
Anyway.
look. The X factor for Cincinnati is going to be Mr. Ritter. He hasn't ran much all year. Watch him start running the ball in the playoffs.
Well, that's one thing that gives Nick Saban trouble as a running quarterback, right?
And he hasn't ran much all year. Last year he was running all over the place, making big plays. And I was hoping that he would stay one more year, and he did. And look what he did. He stayed to play his senior year. Now he has a chance. He's in the playoffs. He didn't run. He became more of a pocket passer. I think the playoffs is where he's going to let it loose and start doing Kyler Murray things, running outside the pocket, tucking it, running. I think he's going to give Alabama a run for their money.
I agree. All right. Gio's tired talking. We have a whole month to talk about this because that's why we need a 12-game playoff or 12-team playoff because a month's way too stinking long. Let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. These guys, come on. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's go to the National Basketball Association real quick. Yes, and I'm going to do it, and I hate doing it. I hate talking about this. There's two things I want to talk about. The Lakers are currently sitting at 12-12, sixth place in the West. Is Frank Vogel on the hot seat? Like, does he get fired mid-season if they don't perform better starting the stretch, especially because they have tough games coming up during this Christmas holiday season?
Well, it's up to your boy LeBron whether he gets
My
fired or not.
boy, no way.
LeBron is the one that calls the shots. He got Mike Brown fired. He also got that guy.
Blatton,
Yeah. He got him fired. So LeBron's gotten several people fired. He's also trying to fire some other people at ESPN, I heard too. It's possible, but the Lakers are, the team-wise, they're just a hot mess right now. So I don't think it's fair to blame it on Vogel. I mean, the team's just not very playing well right now, and he can't tell them to rebound better, shoot better, make better decisions. They're out there executing, and they're playing poor basketball for the most part. So
I mean,
Honestly, I
what's he
don't
gonna do?
care about the Lakers.
What's he going to
either.
tell a team of 13-plus-year veterans to do that they don't already know how to do?
Yeah, like it's like okay, you can blame him, but there's other issues on that team. A
Like,
lot
who
of older
assembled this
guys on
team?
the team.
Who assembled this
LeBron
roster?
James. LeBron James assembled this roster. So he
I mean, the only thing you can't tell them to do is get younger, get faster, get more agile. I mean, that's what's happening, right? They're just getting outplayed because
And that's what I
they don't
said.
have anybody to go off to the bench that second team offense that can just put that extra jolt into them and make them play a little faster or a little bit different. Everyone on that team is the same speed, the same mindset, the same everything. So I just don't think they're all conditioned to play fast basketball. They don't have a
No.
ton of shooters either. You either play
No.
fast basketball like the Cavaliers and some of these other teams that are playing out of their mind, or you play like the Golden State Warriors and shoot it 100 times.
Or turn the ball over 20 times a game, whatever the case may be.
You can do that when you're making 50 baskets a game, though.
Oh man, but yeah, when this team was assembled in the offseason, everyone's like, "Oh, Lakers are why? They're old." Carmelo Anthony's going to be 37 years old. LeBron James is going to be 37 years old. Westbrook's not any good whatsoever. I mean, he's good, but he's not a championship
He can't
level
shoot.
point guard. He can't shoot. The starting lineup is Avery Bradley, who the Warriors cut, mind you, and he's starting in the Lakers. They should have kept Caruso. Be honest with you, that would have helped him out a little bit.
well, LeBron was pissed.
He
at
was.
that. He was very, very upset.
But Avery Bradley's that guy that plays defense. I mean, that's what he is. He's the one that gets in LeBron's face and messes with LeBron and like puts him off his game and gets him frustrated. He's not a go-to guy. Like that's been his role everywhere he's been. The Celtics, anywhere he's been. Like, of course he doesn't fit with the Warriors. Look, he doesn't fit that style at all. So of course they cut him.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to talk anymore about the Lakers. I'm tired of them. Let's talk about our national team, the San Antonio Spurs. I say national team because everyone loves Coach Pop. Anyway, the Spurs everyone's writing them off, and now they've won two. They on this road trip. They had 3-game West Coast swing. They beat the Warriors. They beat Portland, and they almost beat the Phoenix Suns. If Murray can learn how to do a layup and cut the lead into one instead of Chris Paul knocking it out of his hand in wide open court, but. Had they wrote like this? I don't know if y'all watch much Spurs basketball, but is the Spurs back on track to making a playoff push, or are they ruining their season by not tanking and getting a better balls?
Well, you know, it's tough because I've been a proponent of just tanking, right? But the team's been playing very well. I mean, I saw most of that game. They played against the Warriors, just played very well, shooting the ball, playing defense, Spurs basketball, right? Getting into them. And they've played well. I think at this point, the Spurs aren't going to tank. I think we know that. They have too much pride in that city to tank. So they're going to play their butts off. They got young players there. So this is a team, whether 8 and 14 right now, right? So not terrible. Could make a winning streak, could go on a run. I like to see how this team progresses throughout the season, but they're not going to tank. I think we know this. They're not going to tank for a better pick. That's not Spurs basketball. They're going to play hard. They're going to have good stretches. They're going to have bad stretches. But I think overall, I think it could be a decent season. We'll see how these next few weeks go. Kind of have a good pulse of the team. But overall, I was impressed in that Phoenix game, which I saw most of, went down to the wire. So they've been playing with some of these teams. So kudos to the Spurs and being competitive.
I mean, as far as the Spurs, I mean, you said they're young. I don't think they're gonna. Pop doesn't know how to tank. We know this. I don't think they have to tank. I mean, they're young. They're gonna do what you said. They're gonna lose some. They're gonna be playing good, running down the stretch, but they might lose a lot of close games. They're definitely gonna be a top 10 to make the playoffs. I mean, they're only a game and a half back this early, out of 10th. So I mean, they're gonna make that play-in game. And probably surprise somebody and make it out of that play-in game into the next round. To be honest, that's just Pop, and that's what he does. He takes a bunch of players and molds them he makes them something special. I think they have a solid team. It's just a matter of getting them to play together. The more they play together, the better they'll be. And it just takes 1 or 2 injuries from another team, and they're in there. Trust me.
Yep.
We've all seen it every year.
Yep. I agree, but Real quick, excuse me, guys. Real quick, one quick answer on this one. Steph Curry is 16 threes away from tying Ray Allen, who has a home game against Portland on Wednesday. Does he get 16 break Klay Thompson's record and Ray Allen's record on Wednesday night against the Portland Trailblazers?
16-3. I don't.
The record's 14 by Klay Thompson.
He's going to get there within maybe 2 or 3 games, but I highly doubt he'll do one game 16 threes.
Well, the reason I asked that because a reporter actually asked this question to Steph. He goes, "That's not a possibility. I'm going for it. It depends on the game, but I'm going to be jacking up the shots, and we'll see what happens."
I'm sure Steve Kerr love to hear that.
But I guarantee you that the Blazers are going to triple and quadruple team. No one's going to want him to beat the record. But I'm with you. I think it's going to be in. I hope he does it when he plays Philadelphia against his brother.
It's probably going to be 3 or 4 games. I mean, I
don't know. He's averaging like 6 threes a game.
He can get there in 2.
If he has a lights out performance, yeah, on one of them.
That could be any day now.
That's true.
With the way he shoots it sometimes. I mean, this guy could do it. Like, if he's going to be a LaMelo Ball in high school and just start jacking them up, he'll do it.
I'm hoping that he does that 3/4 like at the end of the quarter, and he's like 1 3 away, and he shoots it from the other team's free throw line at the buzzer and makes it. That's the way you go out, baby. Just walk it out, like right at halftime. Just walk off, like I'm good, whatever. But okay, that's all right. Let's get to everyone. Y'all, we're a month. We only have 5 games left in the NFL season. 5 games, playoff push. December football's here, and if we needed any. What's the word I'm looking for? Remembrance. We can just go back to last night and watching that Buffalo Bills New England Patriot game where Mac Jones only threw 3 passes and won the stinking football game. And I still don't understand why he threw 3 times because they threw it in the fourth quarter when they needed to run the clock, and he's over there throwing 2 passes. I'm like, what are you doing? But the Patriots expect to his game plan and everything like that. Bills are not for real. I don't know what's going on with them. We'll get them a little bit later. As it stands right now, the New England Patriots are your number 1 seed in the AFC. Real quick, is the Patriots the best team in the AFC?
I'm going to say yes for right now. I like what the Chiefs are doing. They didn't look great against
They haven't looked good. Their offense is not, but their defense is looking pretty good.
That's a rivalry game. That's a big AFC West. So those games are just going to be a little bit different. But the Patriots, listen, their defense – it's been phenomenal. Now, that game was really windy in the Massachusetts area, so how much? He only threw 3 passes, but it's funny. But Belichick had
Buffalo, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, yes. It was in upstate. So he had a mask of Navy, right? The Navy Mitchum, and as we know from Navy the past recently, they run the option, right? They run the ball a whole lot.
Yes.
And this is very ironic he wore that. But no, listen, they ran the football. Bill knew what the weather conditions was going to be like, and as a coach, I thought it was a brilliant move. Run the football. The Bills can't stop the run. They've struggled all year, and certain times
9 guys in the box and couldn't beat them.
9 guys in the box, and they couldn't stop the Patriots. Kudos to Bill, rookie quarterback. He says, "Listen, why do I need to put him in harm's way? I can run the football down their throat," and that's exactly what he did. And Josh Allen came up short at the end. There were some missed passes in that game, but the Bills just looked out of sync. This is a team that's falling right now, and they need to stay afloat. If not, they could potentially miss the playoffs if they continue to lose like this.
It stands right now, they are actually the 7th seed in the AFC.
There you go.
The Bills are struggling. Like they play in Buffalo. We know that that's the normal weather for the rest of the season, right? Minus no snow. Usually there's 4 inches of snow out there in that wind, right? They have no run game. Whatever happened to their run game last year has disappeared. I don't know if it's the offensive line or what, but I mean, when Josh Allen's out there throwing it in 35, 40 mile an hour wind and just chunking it, like you're going to struggle. I mean, cool, he can play in Buffalo, as one of my friends on Facebook said. He's got the arm to play in Buffalo, but that doesn't do him any good when leading rusher was 39 yards. I think they only had they have 60 yards total on the ground? You're not going to win anything in the NFL with 60 yards total rushing.
Well, to be honest with you, Josh Allen didn't look good yesterday in that weather either. He missed wide open wide receivers too, right? Like he missed a potential leading or game winning touchdown, threw away behind him. I don't even know who he was throwing it to.
Yeah,
He didn't look good.
he had what's the little guy's name? The
Beasley?
slot guy. He had
Beasley
Beasley
Davis?
wide open.
Oh,
No,
Beasley.
it's Beasley wide open, but it could also been the wind too, right? But he kind of slinged it there, and it just kind of overpaid. But the Bills are falling fast, man. They need a get right game. I'm not sure who they're playing next week. The Rams had a
Buccaneers.
get. Oh, that's a tough get right game right there. That's a tough one. The Rams
Yep.
had Jacksonville. That was a good get right game.
It was.
But I mean, that game also looked like Josh Allen was trying to do it all himself last night. You know what I mean? And he put all that pressure on him. So I mean, if you're putting all that pressure on you, you're going to come up short.
Hey,
And
I think the
it
Bills
showed.
can beat Tampa next week for an upset. The Bills
I
are
hope so.
due for something. Tampa didn't look all that great against the Falcons. The Falcons had a pick six in that game, but
Well, Buccaneers haven't looked good against anybody. Rams haven't. I mean, there's not been one great. Like maybe the Arizona Cardinals. Maybe they looked like the best team in the NFL, but at the same, they look beatable too. There's not one great team this year in the NFL. I'll stick by that. But let's get to these games. Starting with the Thursday night game, we got a good one. The Steelers stay alive, baby. They beat the Baltimore Ravens off a Lamar Jackson horrible throw for a 2-point conversion in the win. I did not like Jim Harbaugh. Is it Jim Harbaugh or John? John? Is it John? John Harbaugh.
just
Yeah.
John.
John Harbaugh was, we didn't have enough defensive backs to continue, so we just wanted to go for whatever. Shut up. The Pittsburgh Steelers can't throw the ball deep anyway. All you got to do is play whatever. But anyway, then the Vikings give up the first victory to the Detroit Lions. The Vikings team I cannot figure out to save my stinking life. Steelers at Minnesota. G, I'll start with you. Who do you have?
Is this game in Minnesota?
Yep, it is
Yes,
in
sir.
Minnesota. Thursday night.
Give me the Vikings. I don't know what to expect from this team, but what I can expect is Justin Jefferson being very consistent as a receiver. Adam Thielen's going to be out. He's kind of nursing an injury for the next few weeks. So it's Justin Jefferson and the running game. I think Madison played last week, I believe. Don't know if Cook's coming back. Give me Minnesota for a bounce back, but I don't know what to expect from this team. 1 week they're head bussing, the other week they lose to the Lions. So I don't know what to expect, but if you're going to put some money on it, give me Minnesota. Barely, I think Kirk Cousins can outsling Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is having a great season as a QB. What has he only got 3 interceptions on the year?
It's
I mean-
weird. It's kind of misleading, but yeah, no, I know
Yes.
he's been playing tremendous.
But he's not been talked about all year. But I mean, Mike Tomlin does Mike Tomlin things. We all know this. There's no way no one gave him credit to get a winning season this year. Well, 5 games to go. Give me the Steelers. Somehow they're going to have a winning season with a 6-5-1 record with 5 games to go. They win 3 games and make the playoffs probably because they tied.
I have actually, you know what? I think it's Mike Tomlin. I think the Steelers can make a push. I think this win gets them off the hump. I also believe that the Steelers are going to somehow make a push late. I just don't trust the Vikings. Give me the Steelers in this one. I don't know why, but just give me the Steelers.
Weather prediction for Ben Roethlisberger is it's going to be a balmy 72 in that dome too. So
Exactly.
he might be able to. His bones might be real good and feel good, not achy or anything too.
All right, we're moving on to the AFC West, where it's probably the toughest division in football. Well, maybe AFC North, but AFC West all teams are over 500 or better. We got the Raiders facing the Chiefs. Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought they already played twice. Anyway, Raiders versus Chiefs. It's in Arrowhead. Are the Raiders? They have that one big win against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Is that it for the Raiders, or are the Chiefs just playing too good and they're going to take hold of this division right now?
Chiefs are going to win. They're at home. It's going to be loud in Kansas City. Darren Waller, if he's still out, they're going to be very thin on pass catchers to begin with. They're going to have to slow this game down the Raiders secondary has been up and down all year. We saw them play up pretty well against the Cowboys, and then last week just not look very good. So, give me the Chiefs. This could get ugly. But it's a rivalry game, so who knows?
I mean, it's going to be the Chiefs in a sloppy game again. It's going to be the same weather as this past Sunday. It's going to be 50 and probably 30 plus miles an hour. I think the Chiefs offense is still trying to figure it out. I mean, it doesn't seem like they have a guy. Patrick Mahomes seems to make easy throws and tries to make them sidearm, underneath, underhand, all these, instead of just going back to basics and taking the plays the way they are. I just don't think the Raiders offense is going to thrive against the way the KC defense is playing right now. So I think Kansas City wins, but not as big as you think.
Yeah, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in the last 2 games. But that offense is strong, but that defense is back to a resurgence of what it is. It's holding that team together right now. Give me Chiefs. I think it's going to be ugly too, but I think the Chiefs win in Arrowhead. I think they win by 4 points. Do we want to spend much time on the Jaguars and Titans? Is this a game where Titans lose again to a crappy team?
Well, Julio Jones is coming back, I think, from IR. I'm not sure if that's going to really matter. Give me Tennessee. I mean, Jacksonville. I watched that game against the Rams. They're not very good, but this season there's been so many upsets. I don't really know what to expect from some of these teams, but give me Tennessee. I think Mike Vrabel will have them ready to play, and I think they win this game. Could be close early on, but the Titans should pull away. But Jacksonville's defense it's better than what people think. We saw that against the Bills, but give me Tennessee. The Rocky Mountains.
To go back to what you asked Gio earlier, I think Tennessee is the best team in the AFC right now.
What?
I feel like it. They find a way to win. It doesn't matter who's out there. They win.
But they lose.
It doesn't matter. It's not good. It's not flashy. Vrabel has these guys playing. They're on their 4th running back, and they're still dominating the run.
Yeah. I mean,
just right now, that's who I would pick. I mean, you need a defensive stop. Somehow they make it. It ain't pretty, but they do it. They don't have wide receivers. Some random guy makes a catch. I mean, they dig down deep and they play. They play for Vrabel. He has that Patriots way for some reason. Like I said, just right now, I think the Titans are the best team right now. Give me Tennessee. This will be a warm-up game if Julio comes back. This gets them going. I think Hillard will have a great game. Tannehill will just have some fun getting in timing sync with his wide receivers.
Yeah, give me the Titans in this one. I don't trust Urban Meyer. Anyway, Seahawks versus Texans. Seahawks did not tank and beat the 49ers. Everyone's mad because Seahawks aren't taken. They have nothing to play for, which I might remind you, they're not out of the playoff picture. They're at 4-8. The 7th seed is San Francisco, right? Which is, let me look it up, 6-6. And they still have another game against San Francisco. Philadelphia, we don't know about that. Those are the teams that are ahead of them. They're only 2 games out of first place, and the Seattle Seahawks have an easier schedule the rest of the way. I know they've still got to play the Rams one more time. They got to play the Cardinals, but I think the next 2 games are winnable. You have the Seahawks beating the Texans, or the Texans pull a victory and put the Seahawks misery away.
We're talking about the 49ers here, right?
Seahawks.
Seahawks Texans.
Oh, give me the Seahawks. I mean, the Texans are fucking trash. I mean, listen, I don't like the Seahawks, but shout out to the Seahawks for beating the 49ers for me last week. Very much appreciate to keep that team off of our heels. But get me Seattle. They looked a lot better. They had another touchdown in the red zone if Gerald Everett doesn't drop the ball. But give me Seattle.
Same. Give me Seattle. This is one of those games they need to go out there and go back to fundamental football and just get everything going. I mean, Texans aren't very good defensively. Offensively, they're not. This game could get ugly quick if Russell and the wide receiving core is on page. So Seahawks, probably double digits.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks in that one too. Okay. The game probably no one cares about unless you live in New York or New Orleans. The Saints visit the Jets. Even though the Saints are 5-7, still in the playoff picture, the Saints are eating up with injuries right now. Their quarterback, Taysom Hill, which I don't understand why the Saints signed him to that massive contract, did not look very well against the Dallas Cowboys, threw 4 interceptions. No Alvin Kamara, no run game. Mark Ingram's not who he used to be. Are you picking the Jets are going to get an upset, right?
It's possible here. Saints haven't looked very good. The Jets haven't looked that bad. I mean, they haven't been great, but they've been all right in some of their games. The Saints, to me, this is a team that's looking like they're about to check out, right? They're starting to book those vacations at the end of the year, right?
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Give me the Jets here. I'm going to take the upset, even though it's only a 2-game difference. Give me the Jets. The Jets have been playing pretty tough. Their defense is up and down, but give me the upset here. The New York Jets, who actually play in New Jersey.
I'm with Gio. I like the Jets. I mean, they have a lot more positives going for them than what the Saints have. The only positive the Saints might have is Kamara should be playing this week.
That's good.
I mean, the Saints might come out there and start running the option. I don't know what they're going to do with Taysom Hill, a quarterback, and Kamara in the backfield. Let's be honest.
Oh, I got actually, it's a sweep here. I got the Jets too. I saw that game against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas didn't play very well, but good God, that offense is horrible. If Alvin Kamara comes back, I give him a slight chance, but that's the only weapon that they have on the offensive side. I think Zach Wilson's going to win.
You know what, though? Sean Payton's to blame here. He should have had a better backup.
Exactly.
Colt McCoy was out there, right? Cam Newton was out there. Instead, you have Taysom Hill. He has this love affair with this guy.
I don't understand it either.
And then Trevor Siemian. Really? I don't know.
Sean Payton, I think his time might be. I know he just signed him.
He might. There's been talks about the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope he does go to the Bears. Change that, man.
So
it would help Justin Fields out quite a bit. Tell you that.
Oh, yeah. What about speaking of the Saints and quarterbacks, obviously Breeze is a pocket passer, right? Why not go after one of these older or younger veterans, like someone like Jake Fromm from Georgia? Not very mobile, but he can sling it. Like, he'd look good in that offense, wouldn't he?
He would, but I think Sean, for some apparent reason, he's just been it's been Taysom. I don't know what this does. Taysom have naked photos of Sean Payton? Like what?
He just got a massive.
I don't get it. Like, Taysom is not a very good quarterback. I don't get it.
But I mean, I'm not even talking about Taysom Hill because he's a switchblade. They use him as a tight end, a running back, whatever they use him for. But I mean, like, your third quarterback can't be. I mean, it's Trevor Siemian. I mean, that guy. He gets pitter-patter feet. When Denver, he looked absolutely horrible when they thought he was the answer at one point. Like, look at the Giants. Don't they have Mike Glennon, very serviceable, Jake Fromm?
I think what Gio's saying is Coach Sean Payton will not go to that. He likes he won't go away from Taysom Hill. Like, even if you did bring him back, he likes. That's why he didn't bring in Cam Newton. That's what he's saying.
Well, Cam Newton's at least out there. A bigger version of Taysom Hill. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's just a straight. Like I said, I have no idea what this love affair is. I think Sean's just trying to prove to everyone, oh, look, I took a player from the Packers practice squad, right? And I'm making him. No, it hasn't worked out. He watched the Cowboy game? Like, the dude threw 4 picks. I mean, he is who he is. Bill Parcells once says, you are what your record is. And that's exactly what they are. A 5-7 football team, and is a sinking ship.
Speaking of 5-7 football teams, a great game going on here. Falcons and Panthers. Winner stays alive in the NFC playoff push. Losers pretty much done for the season. It's in Carolina. I'm not picking the Falcons to save my life. I think Gio's the same way. I'm done with the Falcons. Give me the Panthers in this one. I think Cam Newton has a good game. Matt Rule gets back on track with the win. Give me the Panthers. I think that their defense is too much for the Falcons.
Yeah, the game's at Carolina. The crowd's going to be loud there. Atlanta's just been up and down. It's unfortunate because, you play Tampa twice. You're going to lose, right? So Atlanta's just been up and down. Give me Carolina, I think, after that tough loss. Who they lose to? That was, I think it was with the Washington football team, and then they got embarrassed against I forgot what team they lost to, but I think Carolina will get back on the win column and beat Matt Ryan. I think this is Matt Ryan's last year in Atlanta. I think the writing's on the wall.
Oh, it's a sweep. Give me Carolina. I mean, they have more to play for, more to go for. I mean, Cam seems to play better in Carolina here as of right now. Out of the two games, I feel like he's more comfortable. Fans love him. He feeds off the fans. So give me Carolina.
So also, Calvin Ridley's not back, right?
Nope.
Russell Gage had an amazing game last week.
They don't have any – besides Kyle Pitts, they really don't have any threats. I mean, Patterson's great, right? But he's on the running side. They don't have much really good pass catchers.
That's it.
It's pretty slim pickings.
Okay, moving on to the NFC North. The Ravens took one heartbreaking loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. I still contend that Lamar Jackson cannot throw a football. He's just a glorified running back. He had one good game passing, but then he has a 4-interception game against Cleveland 2 weeks ago. Gets Cleveland Browns again this week, this time at the Dog Pound. Cleveland needs a win, and Baker Mayfield needs a win badly to keep that contract extensions talk going. The Browns getting upset and make this division a little tighter.
Yeah, I think the Browns can get them. The Browns are coming off a bye week, I believe. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I think he might be back this week. They're double trouble when they get going. Give me Cleveland off the bye week. Ravens look shaky there. They also lose their best corner out for the season with a torn pec. Give me the Dog Pound to take it to Baltimore this week. It was kind of beat up, and they played some tough games the past few weeks. But give me Cleveland in the upset and make this division a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, these games in Cleveland between these two teams seem to be pretty epic the last few years. My gut says take the Ravens after last week, but I just feel like if the Browns are going to have everyone back, minus Njoku, who's on the COVID list, the Browns are going to do whatever they got to slow the game down and just feed the two-headed monster and keep Baker out of harm's way. If it comes down to a slugfest like it did last time where Lamar had to go to the bathroom or he was sick or whatever his excuse was, I don't trust Baker this year slinging the ball, putting up 40 to win. The weather's going to be amazing this weekend for football, 45 and sunny. It's going to be a knockout run. I hope Stefanski doesn't try to take advantage of the lack of secondary that the Ravens have. Let's put it that way. So just give me the Browns.
Give me the Browns because I don't like the Ravens. I don't like Lamar. I like Lamar Jackson as a person. I just don't like him as a quarterback. He cannot throw the ball. He has wide open guys. He's missing them by 20 yards. I'm straight up honest with you. I just don't care for Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. He's not an accurate thrower. He only has one receiver, and that's Mark Andrews. All you got to do is double team him, and that's all. Unless you stop, and then you can stop the run. The Steelers put a blueprint on how to beat him.
Kind of sounds like Dak Prescott a little bit.
Whatever. Give me the Browns. Give me the Browns. They keep their playoff hopes alive. Just because I want this division to be really close. Speaking of Dak Prescott and those Cowboys, this game got a little bit interesting with the football team and the Dallas Cowboys. The football team's only 2 games back behind the Cowboys and still have 2 games left to play. This weekend is the 12 o'clock noon kickoff on Fox. at not Arrowhead, Landover, Maryland, and Washington and DC or Maryland, wherever they play. I have no idea where they play. The Washington fans are screaming, "We want Dallas!" Well, guess what? You're getting Dallas this week. Dallas is getting everyone back on the defensive side this week. It sounds like. Only hiccup is Zeke Elliott's knee going to hold up. Does Washington get them close to getting the division title, or does Dallas put a bow on it this Sunday afternoon?
I'm going with the Washington football team with the upset this week. I think they're at home. They've been playing particularly well the past few weeks. Give me the upset. I think they can pull it off. Now, when Dallas plays them at home, I think Dallas will win. But this one on the road, give me the Washington football team. You know, they need to change their – just come up with a name already.
Why change it? They made the playoffs last year, and then they're going to have a chance to win division this year. Good thing, man.
But football team?
Well, they need an owner first. The owner's not even allowed in the stadium right now. Not even allowed to be around the team.
Yeah, and we still don't have no emails either from Mr. Dan Snyder.
Just Gruden's email.
You just got to wait for the book. Just got to wait for Robert Griffin's book, and you'll get more information.
Hey, you know what? I hope Robert Griffin really talks about his shortcomings as well, because it was also part of the issue. Because remember, he went to Kyle Shanahan or to what's the dad's name again?
Mike.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan says, I want to be Peyton Manning. You know, I don't want to run no more. Dude, you're not Peyton Manning. You're not Peyton Manning, man.
I too believe that the Washington football team will win, because I just think they're going to split. I think the Cowboys are going to split this game because it's just that close. I think both teams play better at home. I don't know how much. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott should have played last week, so he was ready for this game 100%. But he chose to play, or his boss told him he was playing. I don't know how that went. I feel like the defense is going to get revitalized for this game, that front four, that front seven. And they're going to take it to Dak and Elliott. So give me the football teams in a close one.
Y'all doing that just to piss me off. Y'all are.
Wait, but we gave some good. But we gave some good reasoning why.
We did, and I can't put my finger on how the Washington football team has won 4 straight. Like they're not doing anything well, right? They're not really doing anything great.
Their defense has been bend, don't break. They've lost a few guys. They're running the ball better with Antonio Gibson. So I think this is the team. I mean, Taylor Heineke, he makes plays when he needs to. He just makes plays when he has to.
He's like the new Fitzpatrick.
He is Fitzpatrick. Actually, that's exactly who he is. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean, he makes plays when he needs to, and then when you don't need him to, he does something dumb. But like, he's young, he's taking his chances, and he's running with it. He's making a name for himself
and he's cheap. They're not barely playing him anything.
Okay.
Well, that's what happens when you come from the the AAF or whatever that football alliance was. American AFA, whatever. So, I mean, he's just happy to be playing.
Okay. I think the mini bye is going to help the Cowboys. I think getting Amari Cooper back from COVID, like fully healthy back from COVID. He was back against the Saints, but only played like a certain amount of downs. CeeDee Lamb coming back from concussion, 10 days off is going to help him. Ezekiel, I'm with you, Will. Ezekiel Elliott should not have played that game. That was a Tony Pollard game. And the only thing, I don't know, Zeke's a tough dude. You have to basically throw his helmet in the trash and the dumpster all the way out in the ocean or something for him not to play.
But do you think he gets cut?
The only thing that's saving Ezekiel Elliott right now is his pass blocking, because Tony Pollard sucks at that. Tony Pollard cannot pass block to save his life, but Tony Pollard is a better running back, and you can do more with Tony Pollard, and he's cheaper than Zeke. If I'm the Cowboys, I'd think about cutting him next year. But we see how this season plays out. I think this is a get-right game for the Dallas. I think they're hearing the noise. I think they're here. I just believe that their offense has been struggling. I think they get back on ship. I think it's going to be a close game. It always is. You can throw records out the window. I think Dallas this is it for Dallas, right? We heard all year that this is a different team. This is a different Dallas Cowboy team. Well, the last 4 weeks, you have not been a different Dallas Cowboy team. You've been the exact same team we've seen the last 25 years. So this is a put up or shut up game. I think Cowboys prevail. I think it's just high hopes. I think they pull me into that trap again. Who knows? But I think the Cowboys are going to win in a tight one. It's going to come down to Greg the Leg, who's probably going to miss it. But I think the Cowboys win by two or 3 points. I think they get it back right. Quick show announcement. Next week, I have a Vlogging the Boys chief of Vlogging the Boys coming on next Tuesday at 7:00, and we're going to not just Cowboys. He follows everything.
I'm going to be off that day.
RJ Ochoa will be on. He's a good follow for NFL. Go follow him at Ochoa on Twitter for all the latest and everything like that. But he will be on next Tuesday at 7:00 for about 15 to 20 minutes. So just
can we try to get Jason Garrett on here?
Hey, I'm trying to get a lot of people on. I mean,
Hey,
Jason
let's
Garrett's
get
not
Kirby.
doing anything right now.
Let's get Kirby Smart on here. I have to talk to him.
Well, we have to wait till after the college football playoffs for that. But
I'd rather talk to Matthew
I'm
Stafford.
working on other things. All right, let's move on. We're real quick on this one. Giants go to SoFi to face the Chargers at 3:05. Giants looking like they're not going to have their great quarterback, Danny Dimes, back. Chargers get a big win over Cincinnati last week to get to 7-5. You are picking the Chargers, right?
Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose because they've been doing this all year. They'll win a big game and then they'll lose the next week. So I'm going
true.
Chargers, but would not be I'd all surprised if Danny Dimes lights them up because that defense is not very good. But they did show up against the Bengals.
They did. 16 unanswered points to start the quarter, came out blazing. Almost came back if it wasn't for that stupid handoff, this fumble thing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I went Chargers too. All right, Lions get their first victory as time expired as Gio's favorite quarterback throws a game-winning pass to St. Brown. Is that his name, St. Brown?
St. Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get to that 110-1 mark. That's a weird record, 110-1. They face the Denver Broncos at Mile High. Lions on the win streak. Do they get 2 in a row against the Denver Broncos, or the Broncos get back on track this week?
They will. I saw enough from Denver on Sunday. I'm going with the Lions. Denver is just – they can't get the quarterback thing right. And it's just going to be like this until they can figure it out, until they can find a way to get Aaron Rodgers in the offseason maybe, but give me the Lions.
Rough. So this is I think Teddy Bridgewater watched the Monday night game. I think his new game plan is he's only going to throw it like 5 times, and he's just going to hand it off to Javonte Williams.
They should, because that guy's going to be a beast in this league.
I hope Melvin Gordon doesn't play, and I hope he just does what he's been doing. Maybe a little wildcat action. He can dump it to Judy. He can do it all. I don't know. Give me the Broncos just because they're my team. I mean, they're at home. I don't know. Like, they're just Teddy Bridgewater is just, I don't know what he's doing. It's always, no. Okay. What are you doing? Like, 2 gloves isn't working. Take one off. Try to get a new name. Something.
Yeah, I don't get that team.
I don't either. I don't get the Lions either because they look good in some games. They're in games and they get blown out some games.
Yeah, but the Lions have been in almost every game this year.
There's been about 3 or 4 that got blown out though.
Yeah, but for the most part though, they've been like in those games. Like they had some teams beaten. I mean, look at the Ravens game. I mean, they had that game.
No. I'm picking the Lions just because I'm with Gio. The Broncos look like crap. Their offense looked like crap last week.
They do. In the last 4 games, the Lions have lost by a total of 7 points.
Jesus.
And that's including the game they tied. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been saying that all year. They play hard, they play close, and they just can't get it done. So, it's not going to surprise me if Detroit wins. They've won. They're riding high. They're going to Mile High. Give me the Lions. Screw it. I changed it. They're on a high. They're going to Mile High. That's where we're going.
Shout out to Jared Goff. He got his first win without Sean McVay.
Yay. Anyway, okay. 49ers go to Cincinnati to face those Bengals who are 1 win away from being first place in that tough division. Bengals kind of put up a stinker against the Chargers last week. Well, the Chargers needed that win probably more than the Bengals did. 49ers need a win to stay afloat of the AFC or the NFC playoff picture. Does Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase get back on the winning streak, or the 49ers defense step up?
Yes, Bengals beat those 49ers, baby. I got the Bengals, and Bengals do me proud, man. Beat the 49ers for me. I do not like that team at all whatsoever. I got the Bengals in the rebound. Though the 49ers played well in that game. Their defense is not very good, but Kittle had a big game. Elijah Mitchell played well, but the Seahawks were able to prevail. But give me the Bengals to bounce back at home. Yeah, give me Bengals.
Will?
Give me the Bengals because it's AFC North. Let's keep it thick up here. We know the Browns are going to win. Steelers are going to win. Bengals are going to win. Just make this as tight as you can make it. Make it arguably the greatest and toughest division in football.
All right, probably the game of the afternoon, which we thought was until we saw that crappy show that the Bills played against the New England Patriots. They go to Tampa Bay to face the resurgence of the Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 9-3, pretty much already wrapped up the division. Bills need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. I can't believe I'm saying this. Bills pull an upset against the Buccaneers.
Yes, the Bills are going to be the more desperate team. Tampa's going to win that division already. It doesn't matter. Bills are more desperate. They know they need to win this game to stay up in the playoff chase. Give me the Bills. They're traveling across country or not cross. Well, kind of, I guess.
Close. They're traveling down the coast, whatever.
The coast of Florida. Give me the Bills. They're going to have to want it more.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady in an afternoon game. Give me Tom Brady and Gronk. They seem to be on the same page, so they don't need Antonio Brown. I mean, Tom Brady looks like he's in playoff form right now, just hitting everybody that's open, not making many mistakes. They don't want to see the Bills later. Let's be honest. They can knock them out. They won't see him in the playoffs. They won't see him potentially in the Super Bowl. So give me the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going Bills. I think Gio hit the nail in the coffin right there. I think they already wrapped up the division. They can probably still get the 1 seed, but they have to have a lot of things fall their way. Really not playing for much. Bills are going to be the desperate team. I think Josh Allen's going to come out with guns a-blazing. I think Stephon Diggs is going to have a good game. The way to beat the Buccaneers is with passing. I think the Bills win this game, but I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think they really get the guns going. And Tampa, we've seen it this year. There's some games that come out just very relaxed, not really interested. This could be a game where Buffalo catches, and they're desperate. If the Bills lose, I think they're done for the most part.
But then that's why I take the Buccaneers, because if you knock one of your potential opponents in the Super Bowl out, because Buffalo is supposed to be a Super Bowl contender or was, that's just chum in the water for Brady. Let's get these guys out of here.
I think that was Trey pick, but
was it? Had to run the tape
Kansas,
on that one.
I think I had Kansas City though in the AFC Championship game.
I'm just saying, like, even the experts were talking about Buffalo in general, but
they were up.
Knock them out. Take them out of the playoffs.
Okay.
If they get out of the playoffs hunt now, they may not get back with the way the AFC is right now. So,
okay. For the love of God, for me, I don't know why they didn't flex this game out of the Sunday night game. I don't know why they didn't do it. Bears at Packers. Bears are just a crappy team. Matt Nagy should be fired, but will he get fired after this game against the toeless Aaron Rodgers? I don't know where I'm going with that, but Aaron Rodgers and his big toe problem, pinky toe, whatever that gets broke, and he shows the whole media of the world. The Bears have any chance to beat the Packers?
Nope. Green Bay.
Nope.
Okay. I'm with you. I think Green Bay wins this one. All right. That's NFL matchups. Thank y'all for everything. Okay. We have a Monday night
I think
game.
Gio wants to talk about the last game.
We have a big Monday night
I was
game.
about to say, so I think there's one more. It's a pretty big game.
It is a big game, and I'm kind of upset because the Manning cast is not going to be calling this game. I really enjoy their insights on everything that they do. But the Rams go to the Phoenix, Arizona to face those Cardinals. Rams got a good get right game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They look like the team that we all thought they were going to be. Cardinals get everyone back last week, Kyle Murray, Hopkins. So it looks like both teams are finally going to be healthy this time, playing each other. The matchup we all want to see. Do the Rams get one step closer to getting that division title, or do the Cardinals pretty much clinch it this week?
Well, it's going to be a tough game. The Rams have won in Arizona for the past several years.
It seems like they always win on the opposite field, right? Like it seems like how it's been.
Yeah,
going.
so I think the Rams coming off a big win. I know it's Jacksonville. I get all that, but the Rams need some help. Sean McVay finally ran the football last week with Sony Michel. He had a $125. I saw Sean McVay run some different formations, do some different things. Sean, keep it up. Don't just do 5 wide receiver sets and call Stafford to get knocked out. I think the Rams can win this week. I think this is a team that hopefully can get going. The Cardinals, honestly, they didn't look that great against the Bears last week. The weather sucked, but the Cardinals didn't look particularly well on defense. The Cardinals' run D is not very good, and I think the Rams will take a page out of last week. Just run the football. Be creative, play action pass, get your receivers down the field, and get it done. So I think the Rams can – the Rams have what? The past 3 primetime games the Rams have lost. I think this is the one that we can get back on the nod. Give me the Rams by a field goal in Arizona.
My question is, if they're going to stick to last week's game, is what's his name? Darrell Henderson, right?
He's going to play. He actually could have played last week, but
I know he could have played, but I mean, McVay used Michel like Belichick used Michel in all 3 downs. Like it surprised me how much they used Sony Michel last week. I mean, and then once they started honing in on the run, then it was the Cooper Kupp show, right? It just looked they just looked methodical. Like Sean McVay knew what he was doing. He just baited them, and then all of a sudden it was Cooper Kupp. I don't think Arizona's been playing that good of football lately, minus the injuries, this, that, and another. I just think as a team they haven't been playing as well. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than expected. I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. I like Kyler Murray just because he can run. It seemed like he was making more plays last week with his feet. Yeah, give me Arizona in a tight one.
I'm going Rams. I think this is the game that they need to get right. They look good against Jacksonville. That's Jacksonville. It could have been a foregone conclusion of what they really are. I don't know. I have to see it multiple weeks in a row of what the Rams are actually going to be like. Are they going to be a run team? I have to see Sean McVay keep that run. Like Gio said, he has to. Can he keep?
You got to run the football.
Can he be patient?
And you have to be. The Rams had 6 offensive linemen in some of their running game. They were creative. Yeah. Sean McVay gets in his own way a whole lot. He loves the pass, yes, especially in that 49er game. He was just slinging it out. Run the football, set that up, get creative with different formations, running the ball, slow the game down, keep Kyler off the field, and that's how you're going to win the game. Once you start getting into this super pass heavy, they're not set up for that. You need to run the football. Most teams need to run the football, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams because that means
he's trying to jinx it.
No, I'm not, because that means the Cardinals go to Dallas in week 16 or week 17. Sorry, we have that extra game this week or the year. And the Cowboys can beat the Cardinals, and they can improve their their conference seeding. It's all about the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Rams get right. I think that for some reason,
Dallas travels well in playoff games. I mean, their fans do a good job of hitting up the road teams. So I think they'll be all right.
They will be, but the Dallas Cowboys actually been playing better on the road than they have at home this year. They've lost more games at home than they have on the road. But saying that, I'm not talking about Cowboys. This is the Rams. I just believe the Rams get, like the last couple of years, like we said, these teams have won on each other's turf. And I think that's what's going to get the Rams a victory. I think Sean McVay is going to stick with the run. I think he's going to try to play ball control a little bit, keep Kyle Murray off the bench or on the bench.
Yep. And Von Miller. they didn't have Von Miller the first time. They need to keep him in the pocket.
Right.
It's not easy though. They're gonna have their issues, but the Rams play well up front, so hopefully we can take it up and have a good victory.
I'm just wondering if he's going to keep the same mindset with a different running back. That's my only worry.
Well, my thing is to use both of them. Use them both.
Oh, I think he needs to use Sony Michel a lot more than what he does, not just a
yeah.
third down passing back. I mean, he showed it last week, right? He can handle it. Use him like every team's using two. Every good team is using two running backs.
Yeah, I don't know. Sean just I hate him. He's a great coach when he's ahead. He's actually 45-0 when leading after the halftime. But if he's not leading, it hasn't been particularly great. He just has to get out of his own head, just run the football, slow the game down. Who cares if it's 10-0 in the first half? Just win the game.
Yeah, he tries to come up with too many funky formations to throw off the defense, I feel like, with his creativity instead of just run it down their throat or do whatever.
Look at the Patriots. They threw 3 passes, man. 3 passes. And they ran the ball down their throat and they won. You won the game. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And the backup ran it 24 times compared to the number one back who ran it, 10 times? It's ridiculous.
Well, that's your NFL preview show where we saw our picks go to the gambling sites and do opposite what we do because we're not very good at picking games, apparently. Anyway, that's our show. That will sweep the league. We swept it college, NBA, NFL, gave you picks. Man, it's going to be a great the last quarter of the season is right now. Playoffs seeding's heating up. We don't know what's going on. That's why we love the NFL. We're starting to get some Saturday games here in a couple weeks, but thank y'all for tuning in. Before we leave, let's pay some bills. Thank you to Project Spurs for everything you do. I know the Spurs are playing right now. They're on a little kind of winning streak right now. They lost last night, but they looking like they're getting back on the road as Coach Gio leaves. Go follow them at Project Spurs on Twitter for all the Spurs content and everything you need to know about the NBA. Also United Collision Care Center. If you have any problem with your car, go take it over there to United Collision Care Center, or you go visit their website at www.unitedcollisiontexan.com or 210-595-6413 and go get your car. They'll get you out faster, in and out fast as you more than any other dealership in them you take it to. I cannot talk today. Also, DraftKings. Make sure you sign up today. I know fantasy football is fixing to hit that playoff mark and everything like that. But it's not too late. One day DraftKings or draft leagues are on right now. Just use the promo code TPPN to get your account ready for anything you need to go. NBA, NFL, NCAA, whatever the case may be. Go to DraftKings. They'll have you all set up. And also Sweep the League, the radio show. Big news coming up from Sweep the League radio show. They are going to the Smoothie something bowl. Smoothie bowl, I guess is what it's called. I'm not 100% sure what it's called.
Fresh fruit smoothie.
Yeah, in Frisco, Texas. Rudy and the guys are actually going to go there on December 21st as they face your UTSA Roadrunners Conference champion Roadrunners face the San Diego State Aztecs. Make sure you get your tickets and make sure you tune into Sweep the League, the radio show on 9:30 a.m. The Answer every Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Derek Urban, Rudy Campos Jr., all those guys, Shemaya on the beats. They have you everything from you need to know for 2 hours. Call, and you can also call in, get everything you need off your chest from your week or from the game, whatever team you're rooting for. Give them a call at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Give them a call and make sure you listen to their radio show every Sunday, 7 to 9 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. For Coach Gio, for Will, for myself, we swept the league. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Until then, enjoy the games, guys.